Coronation Street actress Beth Nixon has opened up about the layered personality of her character, Megan Walsh, and what she feels could ultimately bring about her downfall. Megan first appeared on the cobbles late last year as Will Driscoll's athletics coach. To Will's relatives, she comes across as a warm and supportive professional who is devoted to guiding her students toward success. However, behind closed doors, Megan is secretly involved in a relationship with teenage Will and is now pregnant with his child. Oblivious to the fact that he is being groomed and exploited, Will relishes the secrecy of being with an older woman and believes their romance is genuine. Trouble began brewing when Sam Blakeman started questioning the nature of Megan's bond with Will. As soon as she sensed Sam's suspicions, Megan wasted no time confronting him, attempting to intimidate him into silence by insisting that no one would believe his accusations. Although this hinted that her carefully constructed facade might be cracking, Megan herself refuses to acknowledge any wrongdoing. Beth Nixon explained that when portraying the character, she must approach Megan with complete sincerity. She revealed that in scenes with Daniel, Megan's expressions and tone are played as entirely authentic from her own perspective. According to Beth, this is the only way she can convincingly embody the role. She admitted that delving into such dark subject matter is emotionally challenging, particularly given how young her co-star is. Fortunately, she emphasized the strong professional trust between them and noted that strict boundaries during filming make the process more manageable. Still, she said she must mentally justify Megan's behavior to portray her truthfully, even though the situation is deeply uncomfortable. In Megan's mind, her actions are defensible. Beth also shared her thoughts on Megan's mindset, suggesting that the character's inflated sense of intelligence could eventually be her undoing. Megan's belief that she is smarter than everyone else, combined with her moral superiority, may ultimately cause her to make a fatal mistake. Beth suggested that Megan sees herself as untouchable and capable of escaping any consequences. Rather than admitting defeat, she would likely double down, spinning lie after lie to protect herself. While the thought of imprisonment terrifies her, Beth speculated that Megan might consider fleeing if cornered. Nevertheless, her arrogance would probably prevent her from making a clean escape. She genuinely thinks she can outwit and manipulate everyone around her. Although Megan refuses to admit fault, that does not mean she is entirely devoid of emotion. Beth described her as deeply self-centered, driven primarily by her own wants and ambitions. While Megan may occasionally feel a flicker of remorse or compassion, she quickly suppresses those feelings because guilt would only obstruct her goals. For her, personal desire always outweighs morality. In the latest twist, Megan intensified her efforts to keep Sam quiet about what he knows. Determined to expose her misconduct, Sam secretly installed a hidden camera inside the flat she shares with Leanne Battersby, hoping to capture incriminating evidence. After reclaiming his phone from his father, Sam reviewed the footage, only to be stunned by what he saw. Instead of proof of wrongdoing, the recording showed a carefully orchestrated exchange between Megan and Will, in which she encouraged him to move past what she described as a harmless crush. It quickly became clear that Megan had anticipated his scheme. When Sam returned to retrieve the camera, he was alarmed to discover that it had vanished. Megan had found and confiscated the device. Delighted to sabotage his attempt, she mocked him and cruelly labeled him a pervert for spying on her and Leanne. Sam tried to reverse the accusation, pointing out that she was the real predator, but Megan remained composed and unshaken. She chillingly warned that he could end up registered as a sex offender at just 14 years old for secretly filming women. Overwhelmed and frightened by her threats, Sam retreated. Sitting alone in Victoria Garden, he struggled to make sense of her manipulative claims, terrified that his future might be ruined. Nick Tilsley soon approached his distressed son, eager to offer comfort and support. However, Sam dismissed him as clueless, convinced that no one could possibly help him out of the nightmare Megan had created. 11 major Coronation Street spoilers for next week, 23 to 27th of February. Next week on Coronation Street, Bernie finds herself under arrest after Mal is brutally assaulted. Elsewhere, Jody is stunned when someone from her history turns up unexpectedly, while Steve is delivered troubling information about Jim's condition. Here's a look at 14 dramatic developments on the way. You can also browse 28 preview images from the upcoming episodes. 1. Mal terrifies Bernie. Bernie is left shaken when Mal locks the cafe doors and unexpectedly pours his heart out to her. She swiftly rejects his confession, but her relief is short-lived as his behavior takes a darker turn. Things escalate when Bernie notices her face has been deliberately cut out of her wedding photograph. Horrified by the discovery, she runs in panic. Determined to confront him, Bernie presents the vandalized picture to Mal and accuses him of breaking into her home. He denies any involvement, but Bernie warns him to leave Weatherfield immediately or she will go to the police. 2. Bernie opens up to Kit. With Dev and Asha away on holiday, Bernie is alone and uneasy at number 7. When she hears someone outside, she grabs a golf club for protection, only to feel relieved when she realizes it's Kit. She confesses everything about her unsettling encounter with Mal and his increasingly disturbing actions. Later, Mal causes a scene in the cafe by confronting Bernie in front of customers, forcing Roy to step in and throw him out. Dev and Asha soon return home, but will Bernie finally reveal what's been happening? 3. Mal is violently attacked. At one point, Bernie angrily warns Mal to stay away, threatening his life, while an unknown bystander overhears the exchange. Mal refuses to back down, insisting he isn't leaving town. Could Bernie's heated words come back to haunt her? Soon after, Lisa informs Kit that a man has been discovered unconscious in the street with a serious head injury. Kit is stunned when he learns the victim is Mal. At the hospital, doctors confirm Mal is in critical condition. Meanwhile, Bernie hurriedly begins packing her belongings. 4. Bernie faces arrest. D.C. Browning arrives with shocking news. Bernie is being detained on suspicion of assault. Behind bars, she insists to Kit that she had nothing to do with the attack. During police questioning, Bernie recounts her encounter with Mal and claims he had been harassing her. But is she revealing the full story? 5. Jody rejects Carl. Carl attempts to contact Jody again, but she finally follows Shona's advice and firmly tells him to back off. Elsewhere, Ronnie becomes furious when Debbie disregards his concerns and instructs him to send £2,000 to Carl. He confides in Ed, worried that Carl may be exploiting Debbie's vulnerability. Later, Jody once again turns Carl away, unaware that someone is secretly trailing her. 6. Jody's history resurfaces. From afar, Jody is watched by a mysterious woman wearing a locket identical to her own. After a tense run-in with Toya, Jody is stunned by Olivia's sudden appearance. Olivia questions why Jody walked away in the past and reminds her of the bond she once shared with her and her brother. Struggling for answers, Jody finds herself cornered. Later, she retrieves a hidden box from a cupboard, revealing a secret she has been concealing. 7. Jody edges closer to David. Following a pampering session with Shona, Jody bristles when Bethany and Maria describe David and Shona as the perfect couple. Soon after, Shona realizes her wedding ring has vanished. When David returns home, he finds Jody reaching behind the sofa in search of it. Claiming she needs his assistance, she draws him close, and it's obvious she's enjoying the intimate moment. 8. Shona plots romance. Jody attempts to drive a wedge between David and Shona by implying that David hasn't completed household chores. Meanwhile, Shona confides in Bethany that she and David rarely get quality time together. Bethany suggests a romantic solution to reignite the spark. 9. Steve gets distressing news about Jim. Steve receives an unexpected call from Jim's landlord demanding unpaid rent. To his shock, Steve learns he has been listed as his father's guarantor. After making inquiries, Steve discovers that Jim is hospitalized and doctors fear he may not survive. 10. Steve faces a dilemma. Cassie encourages Steve to visit Jim, but Tracy reminds him of the pain his father has caused over the years. Ben offers to drive Steve to the hospital. Yet when they arrive, Steve cannot bring himself to get out of the car. He confesses that this may be his final opportunity to say goodbye, but he's unsure if he can face it. Will he go inside? 11. Cassie prepares a surprise. Steve spends the day at a county event with Ben and Tim, returning to the Rovers in high spirits. While playing darts, he misses a call from Jim. The following morning, he wakes up hungover in the pub's back room. Later, Steve tells Cassie he plans to put Jim behind him and focus on the life he already has. Meanwhile, Mary excitedly fills Tim in on a special surprise Cassie is organizing for Steve. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is available for streaming on ITVX.